And it's Sydney, and we're LanXSyd. Today we filmed a 2-look makeup tutorial using one palette for both of us.
Yes, and the palette was the Morphe palette with all the bright colors. We'll insert a little picture.
35B.
That's it. So if you want to see how to look like this or to look like that, then keep on watching.
So I started out by priming my eye with some concealer, and I leave the concealer wet. I don't set it down with a powder just because the colors stick to it and are a little bit brighter. So I'm first picking up this yellow matte shade from the Morphe palette, and I'm blending it all into my crease as my transition shade. It's going to end up going like super high, but I blend it out and then I kind of wing it out at the end. Sorry it's a bit out of focus, but it gets better. Next I picked up an orange shade from the palette, and the thing about this palette is that the bright colors blend so seamlessly and they work really well together, so I just add that on top of the yellow. Now I just picked some yellow back up and blended out the orange a little bit. Next I picked up a pink shade and started packing it on the outer corner, and then I'm going to take it up into my crease and blend it out there as well as wing it out on the side. I go back in with the orange and I blend it out. I basically take all the previous colors and use them to blend out the look the entire video, so just blend. Now I'm taking a darker pink shade and blending that on the outer corner, and once again I'm going to take it into my crease, not as high as the other pinks and oranges, but in the crease, and also winging it out. Now I'm taking a dark purple shade and concentrating that in the outer corner as well and in the crease as well. But this time I'm keeping it a little bit smaller, like it doesn't blend out as much as the rest of the colors do. So I keep packing on and building up this color because it kind of blends away a little bit, but if you just keep packing it on and blending it out, it'll be fine. So now I'm starting to cut the crease with concealer, and if you line your lash line with a concealer and then look up, it creates the perfect line of where your crease actually is. And I know mine looks huge, but I have hooded eyes, so this is actually where my eyeball like ends, and I just cut that and like perfect the line a little bit, and it makes the perfect crease. Now I'm taking a matte tan shade and just setting all of that concealer we just put down. You want to blend the outer edge of the concealer so it's not as harsh, and I start out with the lightest pink shade I used, and then I work into the darker pink and the purple as well. For the lid, I'm packing on a light champagne-y shade that has some shimmer to it, and I'm placing that along the line of where my concealer is to really define that line of the crease. I also blend it into the purples to make sure that the blend is seamless, and then I go back in with the pinks and the purples and blend again just to make sure that there's no harsh lines or anything. So I'm packing on more purple shade just to make it a little bit more intense and darker on the outer corner. Now I'm highlighting my brow bone with the same shade I used on my lid. I always go back in with my first transition shade I use, so in this case it's a yellow, and I blend it with the brow bone highlight so there's no harsh lines anywhere. And now I'm going in with a yellow shimmery shade for my inner corner highlight, and I take it up into the lid and below on my lower lash line and really blow it out. So I did my face makeup and my lashes off camera, but I'm starting my lower lash line, and I go in with a navy blue eyeliner for my waterline. Then I take every single color I used on my lid on my lower lash line and blend out in the same exact order. Sure to blend and connect all the shadows on the bottom lower lash line to the wing we created on the lid. I'm packing on more of the inner corner highlight because I can never have enough of this shimmery yellow shade. I love it so much. And finally, I finish off this look with some bottom lash mascara.
So now onto my look. The first step I am doing is taking some Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer onto my lid and using that as a primer because it makes the shadow super bright. Next, what I'm doing here is applying my transition shade. For my transition shade, I use the orangey color. I do this lightly at first, but then I slowly build it up to get the color that I want. Here, what I'm doing with the orange is blowing it out, and it's a pretty bold look, so I'm bringing the shadow all the way up to basically my eyebrow. Now for the more exciting part of this look, I start with the blue. So for this look, I decided to do a halo eye. I had never done one before, so this is my first real try at it. So what I do is start packing the blue onto the outer edge first until the desired color is reached. Next, what I'm doing is dragging it across my lid so that it can connect to the inner corner blue that we're going to add in a minute. Now what we're going to do is basically the same thing that we did on the outer corner, just on the inner corner. Continue to pack on that blue until you reach the color that you want. So this look does have a lot of repetitive steps, but in order to make it as vibrant and beautiful as possible, they are all necessary. So I'm going to show you the sped up version of me packing on the blue and the orange so that it looks as colorful as we want it to. Another thing I'm doing while I'm packing on the shade is dragging the colors out so that it gets to the exact shape that I want. It's super winged out. My eyeshadow looks are always super winged out, but that's what I like. What I start to do here after I finish dragging out the blue is play with some other colors in the palette to get the perfect transition between the blue and the orange. This is a little difficult because they're such contrasting colors, but what I did was sneak some green and a darker blue in there until the desired blend, just worked out for me in the end. Now what I'm doing is going in with the same Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer and putting that on my lid. I just use my finger. If you want a more precise circle for the halo eye, then you can go in with a brush, but I just use my fingers so that I can pack a lot on all at once. Now is when I go in with the first color that I put on the halo, which is the shimmery peachy shade on the bottom of the palette. I do add some Fix Plus, which is just a setting spray, to my brush so that the color does show up a little bit more vibrantly. Next, on top of that shimmery peach, I go in with the bright yellow just to make it stand out more. I also mix in a little bit of the white in there just to make it really, really bright. Here I start adding some brow bone highlight. I just use the light white shade in the palette and the champagne shade, mix them up and put them right underneath my brow. For another pop of color in this look, I decided to make my inner corner a little bit crazy. I go in first with the yellow, then I add this really shimmery green shade in the palette. I thought it would be a fun addition to this blue and orange scene that I got going on, so I just pile that up until the desired color that I want. So once we finished, I went ahead and did my makeup and my eyebrows off camera, but now we're going on to the under eye. So what we're doing is basically just a reverse of what we do on the lid. So we're taking the orange transition shade and running it down the lower lash line. Then you're going to go ahead and take the blue and do the same thing, but really, really super close to your waterline. So then what I'm doing here is just taking the inner corner green and just blending it into the blue and orange so that it all looks cohesive. Here I'm just making sure that the orange is dragged out as far as the blue is. Then to finish this look, I add some bright blue eyeliner into my waterline, and that's it.
So that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it.
If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. Follow Instagram at LanXSyd or LanXSyd.
Let us know in the comments if you use this look or if it helped you or if you like it. Let us know your feedback.
And let us know if you want us to do it again with another palette, something a little bit more wearable. It's okay. Thanks for watching.
That's it. Bye. Good.